Imagine living your entire life beneath a house, no sunlight, no fresh air, no freedom. For 24 years, a young woman and her children were trapped in darkness, imprisoned by the one person meant to protect them, her own father. This is the true story of Josef Fritzl, the man who turned his basement into a dungeon, his daughter into a prisoner, and his home into one of the most disturbing crime scenes in modern history. Josef Fritzl was a man who lived with his family in the quiet Austrian town of Amstetten. Outwardly, he seemed ordinary, a retired engineer, husband, and father. But beneath his home, hidden behind concrete and steel, he kept a horrifying secret that would remain buried for 24 years. In August 1984, his 18-year-old daughter, Elisabeth, disappeared. Fritzl told police that she had run away to join a religious cult. He even produced a letter written under duress before her disappearance, claiming she had left and didn't want to be found. Investigators believed him, and the case went cold. But Elisabeth hadn't run away. Her father had trapped her in a soundproof cellar he'd been building beneath their house. Fritzl had spent years designing that underground prison. It was sealed behind 8 locked doors and accessible only through a hidden electronic code. The chamber was small, about 60 square meters, with low ceilings, no windows, and barely enough space to live. On the day she vanished, Fritzl lured Elisabeth into the basement to help him carry a door. Once inside, he overpowered her with an ether-soaked cloth and locked her away. For the next 24 years, Elisabeth lived in total isolation. Fritzl visited her almost daily. He brought food, supplies, and sometimes gifts. But his visits were a constant reminder of control and abuse. Over the years, she gave birth to 7 children, all fathered by him. One baby, a boy named Michael, died just days after birth. Fritzl disposed of the body in a furnace. 3 of the surviving children were taken upstairs and raised by Fritzl and his unsuspecting wife, Rosemarie. He told her that Elisabeth had left the babies on their doorstep. The other 3, Kerstin, Stefan, and Felix, remained locked in the cellar with their mother, never seeing sunlight. The conditions were brutal. The small space contained a makeshift kitchen, a shower, a single bed, and a television. The air was stale, the lighting dim. For the children born underground, life outside those walls was only a story their mother told them. In April 2008, everything began to unravel. 19-year-old Kirsten became critically ill. Elisabeth begged her father to take the girl to a hospital. He finally agreed. When doctors examined her, they were alarmed. Kirsten was malnourished, pale, and lacked any medical history. They alerted the authorities. Police reopened Elisabeth's missing person case and questioned Fritzl. Days later, Elisabeth convinced him to let her visit the hospital to explain Kirsten's condition. When she arrived, she told police the truth, that she had been imprisoned by her father since 1984. Authorities raided the Fritzl home and uncovered the hidden cellar. Inside, they found the rooms where Elisabeth and her children had lived, drawings the children had made, and evidence of years of captivity. Josef Fritzl was arrested on April 26, 2008. He confessed to everything: imprisonment, rape, incest, coercion, and the murder by neglect of the infant who died. In March 2009, he was sentenced to life imprisonment in a secure psychiatric facility. Elisabeth and her surviving 6 children were taken into care, given new identities, and relocated to a safe location in Austria. They began the slow process of healing and rebuilding their lives. For 24 years, the truth lay buried beneath an ordinary house. A daughter's cries went unheard, a community deceived by a father's lies. But one desperate act, the plea to save a dying child, finally brought the truth to light.